Hey everybody, John the Editor here, obviously, and the following is a reading of an article called Trust Women. It's pretty long, so if you don't like long articles, well, too bad, but here we go. Guys, you are fucked. You might think you're the ones doing the fucking. After all, this is the story repeated to you and repeated about you in almost all current mainstream discussions of male and female sexual interface. Rape culture is a fantasy about your sexuality. The so-called objectification of women is widely protested. And if you're unclear about just what that is, well, it's you, brother, turning women into non-person things for your own gratification. It's certainly not the conversion of yourself into a cash-dispensing appliance in which femininity is used to manipulate your spending and your behavior. And when it gets down to actual humping, who's the gatekeeper there? Who is in charge of whether boy and girl get down on a Saturday night? If you think men are calling the shots, well, you're delusional. Men may canvass and beg and maneuver and manipulate and pay and pander to get a leg over, but it's when she wants to fuck that you're going to get some. And when she doesn't want any, you are going to be patient and say, that's okay. And if you don't like that, we have jail for guys who can't take that hint. But women don't just control sex. They also have the only legal voice in reproduction. After all, it's her body, and therefore it's her choice. Well, that jargon is still widely used in the political argument over access to on-demand abortion. Left out of the popular political rhetoric is that it's also his wallet, but her choice, and his semen and her choice. And it might be his desire to not be a father against his will, and that's her legal choice as well. Did I mention, guys, that you're fucked? And I don't mean in the fun way. Because what if she uses your semen to get pregnant? Whether she stole it from your condom, whether she lied about being on the pill, or whether it was actually just accidental. Why do we still describe her choice to become pregnant and her choice to remain pregnant with the words, he got her pregnant? There is no self-actualization in that for her. She becomes a passive receptacle of your all-powerful sexual organ. And that this bears no resemblance to the actual power dynamic of sexual gatekeeping doesn't matter at all. This is the unexamined myth, the story that you are the decider. Why else would we have myths like rape culture and patriarchy theory? Why do we have an idiotic concept that men sexually manipulated by pictures of perky boobs are somehow turning women into objects rather than those men being exploited? But screwing and baby making are barely even the beginning. We also have the courts, the education system, the entertainment industry, government and family courts, all informed by female-centric ideology. Now, this wouldn't be a problem, except that this ideology includes an irrational malice towards men. Based only on the accusation of a woman, our society will destroy the life and the livelihood of any man of whom it is whispered, rapist. Conviction in a court of law? Not needed. Accusation is guilt. And domestic abuse, in which the victim does not leave after one incident of violence, means that it is two people, and not just one, responsible for the continuation of a violent relationship. To presume that an adult woman in such situations is powerless is to cast for her the role of a child. And intimate partner violence as propaganda, in denial of equal commission by men and women, uses the misleading term violence against women. I wonder why. Due to popular myth and scorn of male identity, women face very little consequence for the use of lies about threats or violence to strip men of their freedom, property, or children. But of course, in observing this obvious fact, we are told, of course women don't and wouldn't lie about such things because, they're innately innocent or something, right? But that rebuttal actually denigrates women, denying them their full humanity, which must include the capability to be just as evil as the next villain that you can name. But to conclude that women are simply or innately evil is to miss the point entirely. Women as a group are neither inherently bad or good, just as men are just people. Some are malicious, some are good. All of them are flawed to some degree regardless of what their sex is. But where advantage can be taken by individuals within a system, it will be. And because of this, and the climate vilifying men and elevating women, the greater incentive for allowable exploitation lies with women. So while there are many women of amoral character, it is the socially and legally tilted playing field of social reality which invalidates men's ability to trust women, and not the positive or the negative or the indifferent character of individual females. And as a relationship fails, each person exiting that relationship is going to evaluate and pursue new paths to meet their financial and emotional needs, the same needs which were formerly being fulfilled by that relationship. For women, casual theft of the man's income is one of the easiest options, without a negative stigma, and with public institutions to enforce his compliance to that theft. So that so many women take this path should surprise nobody. Because if men had the same options to exploit women with the cheerful participation of the courts and the financial systems, then men would earn a reputation equal to that of women. Where advantage can be taken, it will be. Now, certainly many women are not unethical, nor are they seeking to exploit men's sub-person status in society. Unfortunately, many women are quite pleased to exploit male destructive outcomes on an opportunistic basis, because there is no social or legal demotivator for those who would exploit the system that women now enjoy. But worse than lack of disincentive for harmful behavior is a social narrative which provides positive feedback for antisocial conduct. That narrative relies on a maintained belief in the victim status of women. Attack rhetoric about toxic masculinity and the suffering of women justifies her retaliation against the endless male war against women. Now, the reality of no actual anti-woman war is of no consequence in social reality. The woman filing a false accusation is noble, standing up for her rights, and she's not simply a predatory criminal exploiting the credulity of the courts and the public. In the system where all men are bad and all women are good, she is heroic. She becomes the brave victim who turns the tables on a predator when she steals your house or has you jailed on a fraudulent charge. A quirk of human behavior is that people given positive social feedback for an action will believe that that action is noble, even if it is objectively monstrous. So why would she even feel guilty when her social group lauds her heroism for what is arguably criminal, predatory, and amoral opportunism? And men can't reasonably trust women in this system. But that social system, or the social reality, contributing to this problem is built on a set of overlapping myths. The first of these is the idea of the innate goodness of women, the fairly simplistic conception rising out of the attitude of worship by small children of their mothers. Where a child's mother is the primary caregiver, the first source of nourishment, it's easy to see how the female becomes a universal good. And this shows up in many ways, including in the tender years doctrine, in female goddess rhetoric, in other idiotic but still popular ideas. The idea that women are innately innocent and non-threatening helps tilt the playing field in which all fault is male and all victimhood is female. And yes, I know it sounds stupid when it's expressed in simple terms. It sounds stupid because it is stupid. But for some men, shedding their cultural programming, they replace the myth of women's innate victimhood with the similar idea of innate female evil. And although departure from the naive belief in the fundamental good of and the innocence of women can inform a more self-preserving behavior in men, it is not a step towards comprehension to replace one innate behavior with simply another innate behavior. We're not machines who are programmed. We're people. We have choices. But the problem of trust in relations between men and women is still unanswered here, obviously. If men and women are going to carry on together, and they are, I predict, and if they're going to end up in each other's lives, in each other's beds, and dwelling, then an alternative model is needed. And this model must depart from the vision of female innate purity and malevolent male aggression. And it will not be women, now in control of social reality, who make this change. Why would they? when a myth of their own innate innocent and natural goodness serves them as a social caste so well. The problem of trust in relationships is a problem for men, which men will have to solve. One approach is to treat women as if they are men. Whatever she is doing, whatever she is saying, here is the question for you to ask yourself. Would you accept her behavior if she was a man? Well, would you?